Yo, you guys, I'm so sorry. Yo, let me tell you exactly why everything's so unorganized, and this is exactly why I'm gonna tell you. It's because of the fact that I dropped so many new series. I don't know which one to keep up with. So I want you guys to drop. Okay, listen, because three's about. Okay, no, I'm gonna do four. Drop four names of the series that I should keep doing, and the one that I think is the best and the one that gets the most likes that you guys like, I'll continue doing those four series because that's a lot mentally to keep up with. Like, it's my fault though. It's my fault because I keep dropping new series. But for sure, one that's by default that I'm gonna keep doing. Well, there's two by default. I'm gonna keep doing this one and the new Sarutobi one. I just said, what if Naruto's half Sarutobi, half Senju, and half Uchiha? But anyways, we left the story off where the Panther was like, we should join a group called the Akatsuki for fun. As Naruto's like, you sure you want to do that? As Panther's like, yes, it could be amusing. As Naruto's like, alright. As he begins his walk, as on the way to the Akatsuki, he sees a boy that's about I'm gonna say about like his age, maybe a little bit older. But he was just as tall as him, but he was near the Akatsuki's hideout, but he was just as tall as him, as he wore a black cloak jacket with red clouds. As he seen Kisame Hoshigaki was walking by himself as Naruto and him walked past each other. As Kisame is like, I haven't let loose in a while. As he pulls out his sword and tries to slash at Naruto, Naruto pulls out his sword, blocking his sword. As he says, what are you doing? I don't have time to sit here and play with you. As Kisame's like, what was that? As Kisame jumps up into the air about to slash at Naruto, as Naruto activates his reincarnate, as then Kisame goes slowly. As in this time that Kisame was slow motion, Naruto shoves his sword through his stomach, killing Kisame as Kisame falls to his knees and dies right there. As Naruto's like, As then he picks up the guy by his collar as he drags him to the Akatsuki. As he arrives at the Akatsuki, he says, this boulder, I could tell that there's seals around it, but I know a better way. As then he says, he snaps into the 8 gates for like 5 seconds and just crushes the boulder, then immediately deactivates it. As the Akatsuki look at him, as all of them were there in real life, except for Pain. Even Conan was there. As Naruto's like, I think this property belongs to you. As he tosses Kisame on the floor as they see that he's dead. As Naruto steps on his head, saying, little weakling, he didn't know what he was getting himself into. As the Panther's like, I raised you well. Anyways, as they're like, who is this boy? He's killed Kisame, one of our strongest members, with mere ease. As Pain's like, As they're all about to attack him, as Pain says, you will not attack him. As they all stop and look at Pain's illusion as they say, hey, he obviously was stronger than Kisame. He will take Kisame's place. As Naruto's like, you guys are lucky you didn't attack me, because I would have had a lot of fun. As he puts his sword back. As Hidan said, what was that, you little brat? As Hidan runs at Naruto, as Kakuzu trying to stop Hidan, but Naruto's like, let him go, Kakuzu. Or he says, let him go, so he can get sliced up real quick. As Hidan then extends his weapon, throwing it at Naruto. As Naruto activated his Reincargon, cutting the wire that connected the rope that connected him and that connected Hidan and his weapon. He cut the rope as he grabbed the main part of the weapon and ran at Hidan, slicing his head off of his shoulders. As in time, I'm back to normal as they see Hidan's head flying in the air as Naruto's on the other side of Hidan with Hidan's weapon. As Hidan's head falls to the floor as his body does as well. As Naruto picks him up by his hair, Hidan says, hey, that hurts like a son of a bitch. Sorry, Dad. Anyways. So, yeah. Naruto's like, well, you should have never challenged me. As he punched Hidan dead in his face as he just keeps punching him and punching him. He's not even punching him. He's just like, well, he is punching him, but he's not even punching him hard. He's just annoying Hidan. As Hidan's like, I'm going to bite your hand off. As Naruto slams Hidan's head on the floor saying, I can kill you right now. As Kakuzu's like, can he be my partner? As Pain is like, no, you will sew Hidan's head back on, as Naruto will be Itachi's partner. Cause I'm pretty sure that's what you said your name was, wasn't it? Yes, I'm Naruto Kafuma. His Pain says, I see, my boy. Well, you will be Itachi Uchiha's partner. He's right there. As he points at the boy. Well, he points at the guy that's like, Naruto's almost just as tall as, but whatever. As Naruto says, alright. As Pain tosses Naruto well, not Pain, Konan tosses Naruto about a Nakatsuki jacket. But he didn't wear like an Akatsuki long jacket because that wasn't Naruto's style. He wore like a cloak that ends at his waist. The cloak ends at his waist, like right above his like butt. But it was an all black cloak that had red clouds on it. It had one red cloud on the back. As Pain's like, that suits your style, doesn't it? As Naruto's like, yes, it's perfect, thank you. As he ties the cloak around him from the front. As now he wears a short cloak that ends at his waist. Anyways, as he says, so, what will we be doing? Oh yeah, guys. Naruto wears the black pants with the ninja tape with the long black shinobi sandals. The top you guys can already see, but yeah, that is what he wears at the bottom. Except for that he does not wear that hidden leaf sign, but whatever. As then Naruto's like, so should I put a X through my, well, he doesn't have a headband, but he's like, Pain tosses Naruto a headband that has a scratch on it saying, the closest village that you were ever probably to was the Leaf Village, therefore you'll be a rogue hidden leaf village. A rogue hidden leaf ninja. As Naruto's like, alright. As he has the headband that has a scratch around his head. As Naruto's like, so what's the main objective of the Akatsuki? Well, to bring peace to this world and live in a balanced realm. As Naruto's like, I see. But, alright. So then, Pain's like, oh yeah, fellow Akatsuki members, as they all look at him. As I say, I've built an Akatsuki house for all Akatsuki members. But you'll be sharing a room with whoever is of my choice. I will not live there, but the rest of you will. As everybody says, okay. And then Pain gives him the address to this big Akatsuki mansion. No, it's not even a mansion. It's just a 2-story house that has like 5 bedrooms, I'm going to say. And like 5 bathrooms. But you guys will see why. Anyways, as now he says, now it's time for room situations. Hidan, you'll be with Kakazu. There's 2 beds in your guys' room. Pick whichever ones you guys want. Leave. As in they leave. As then he says, next. It'll be Sasori and Deidara. As they go to theirs. Next. It'll be Itachi and Zetsu. As in they leave. As then he says, next. It'll be Naruto and Konan. Naruto's like, oh, so I get the girl, huh? As then she's like, don't get any ideas. As Naruto's like, yeah. As then they walk to their room. So Naruto looks around with his, he has like orangish type, he has like orangish, brownish, golden type eyes. As he looks around, as he's like, huh, this room is pretty spacey, but where's my bed? As they only see one bed, as Conan's like, this must be a mistake. As Naruto's like, oh, I don't think it's a mistake, Conan. As Conan's like, it has to be. He wouldn't put me in a room with you with no bed. But not no bed, with only one bed. As Naruto's like, I think he would. Maybe it'll strengthen our bond, if you know what I mean. And she's like, please, how old are you even? As Naruto's like, age is nothing but a number. As Conan's like, whatever. As then they both unpack their stuff as it was nighttime. As Naruto takes his shirt off and lays down. And she's like, what are you doing? As Naruto's like, I'm sorry, I sleep with my shirt off. Jeez. And she's like, yeah, whatever. Well, you stay on your side of the bed. As Naruto's like, fine, you can even put a pillow in between us. As she's like, fine. As Konan takes her Akatsuki jacket off and was only wearing her tank top and tank top and underwear.
As they put a pillow in between them as Naruto's minding his space. As she just can't seem to fall asleep as she's like, my man. Anyways, as she just can't seem to fall asleep. As Naruto's like, you still awake over there? As she's trying to fake her sleep. As Naruto says, I know you're awake. I'm using my Reincarnagon and I can see through you and I can see your eyes are open. And she's like, what do you want? As Naruto's like, why can't you sleep? And she says, it's really cold in here. As she shivers. As Naruto's like, well, let me help with that. As he moves the pillow and pulls Konan closer to him. As he wraps his legs and his arms around her. And she's only wearing a tank top and underwear. So it's like, now she's warm. She's like, whatever. As then she falls asleep right away. As Naruto's like, so that was it all along, huh? Whatever. As they fall asleep. As Naruto wakes up first, getting up, as he yawns, as he puts his black, well, he already had his pants on. He puts his black shinobi sandals on, along with his white bandages around his stomach, and he puts his short Akatsuki cloak on, along with his sword. As Konan wakes up saying, oh, good morning, Naruto. As Naruto's like, oh, good morning, Konan. As the Panther's like, you got that girl right. You got that girl right where you want her. As Naruto's like, yeah, I know. As then they walk out. As they meet all of the members in the living room. As the members say, so you two, how did you guys sleep? As Konan's like, I was really warm. As he's like, why was that? As then she's like, don't worry about it. As Naruto says, I'll tell you why. It's because she was only wearing her underwear and tank top. As all their eyes widen, and then Naruto says, and she was really cold. So then I ended up, as she puts her hand over his mouth, saying, nothing. He did nothing. As she says, this is our little secret, and if you want to ever cuddle me again, you better not say a word. Got it? As Naruto's like, got it. And then she lets go of him. As Naruto's like, wow, this woman isn't playing. My bad, y'all. My dad, the legendary Dragon Sage father's texting me. Alright, whatever. Said food's downstairs. Yes, sir. But, anyways. So now, Naruto and Konan are going to look for the one-tailed Chikaku. As they arrive to the Hidden Sand Village, as Naruto says, now be careful, Konan. As Konan's like, you don't need to worry about me. As Naruto's like, give me your hand. As she hands Naruto her hand, as he kisses it, saying, well, I'm going to worry about you no matter what. And she's like, you're sweet, but let's worry about the mission right now. As Naruto's like, yes. As then they see that Gaara has become the Kazekage at an earlier age, since he was the strongest one in the village after all. As Gaara was in the office, as two Akatsuki members appear in front of him, one with a long jacket, one with a little short cloak. As Gaara says, Akatsuki, as he sends sand at him, but Naruto has slowed down time and appears behind Gaara. As he then sticks his sword right through Gaara's chest, as in time goes back to regular speed. As Gaara's like, as he coughs out blood, and he looks down, as Konan was surprised, saying, You did that fast. As in Gaara's sand immediately heads towards Naruto out of nowhere, as in Naruto teleports in front of Gaara. As in he says, 8 gates dynamic entry, as he snaps into the 8th gate and kicks Gaara so hard in his stomach. He kicks him so hard in his stomach that Shikaku feels that shit on me. Sorry, Dad. Anyways, as Gaara is now knocked out, as not even the sand is going to help Gaara, as Naruto picks Gaara up and puts him over his shoulder, as he does some hand signs saying, sleep illusion, as he taps Gaara's back so he cannot wake up. Now Gaara cannot wake up until Naruto releases the jutsu, as then they leave. As they're walking, Naruto's like, so Konan, what's up with you and that um Pain guy. And she's like, "What do you mean?" As Naruto's like, "Well, you seem to be his right hand girl or something. Are you two like a thing?" As Naruto's like, "Well, no, we're not Naruto." As Kona's like, "No, we're not dating or anything." As Naruto's like, "Well, that's good to hear." And she's like, "Yeah, whatever." As then they continue walking as they arrive to the Akatsuki. As Konan goes in first, saying, "Sorry, Pain. We have failed you." As Pain's like, "It's alright. It's Naruto's first try." As Naruto walks in saying, "Ha, you thought we failed you, Pain? You think I was gonna let you down, my good?" He said, like, you thought I was gonna let you down, my dude?" As he tosses the One Tails Jinchuriki in front of Pain. As Pain, it's the real Pain, not the real Pain, but the orange hair Pain. As Pain jumps down at Naruto, saying, "Good work, my boy." As he daps Naruto up, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Bow, 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 bow. Yes, sir. Extract that One Tails real fast. A couple of the, like one of the eyes in the ghetto statue opens. Gar's dead. Ain't nobody come to save him. Actually, some people tried to come and save them, but the Akatsuki wiped them out, and it was nobody from the Hidden Leaf. Because the Hidden Leaf and Sand were not very good with friends right now. But whatever. Bow, bow, bow. Yes, sir. Anyways, as Pain's like, "Naruto, for you and Conan's great work, you guys can take the whole week off." As Naruto's like, "We get the whole week?" As Pain's like, "Yes, you earned it." As Naruto says, "Actually," as all the Akatsuki look at him, as he says, "I would like to go after a Jinchuriki by myself. And if I bring him back to you, then I'll take the week's vacation. Is that a deal?" As he's like, "But I'm offering you it now." As Naruto's like, "Well, I know that, but how happy would you be if I brought you back another one?" As he says, "You just might get promoted to co-captain of the Akatsuki." As Naruto says, "That ain't nothing but a word." As he activates his Reincargon and teleports away, he teleports to the hidden cloud village as he's about to try to take out Yugato Ni. As he eventually finds Yugato Ni, as he's behind her about to throw a punch, as he punches her so hard she goes flying. Like Naruto punched the living fuck out of Yugato Ni. She went flying. Like, I'm talking about she got punched hard just like Dryad did versus that ugly pain mechanic robot thing. As when she landed, her arm got knocked off, and she's like, "No, Matabi!" As Matabi's like, "Got it!" As then from where her arm fell off, a blue flame arm appeared on her from the Matabi as she can use it. And she's like, "That was... I didn't even sense him." As Naruto's like, "Yugato Ni of the Two Tails Matabi. You're coming with me." As the Panther's like, "Yes." As he says, "Let's get her, Naruto." As Naruto's like, "Yeah." As Naruto does some hand signs saying, "Fire style, fire flame missile." And she thinks, "You think you'll really be able to hit me with that?" And she doesn't think Naruto's that much of a threat. She only thinks that he got a lucky hit on her and knocked her arm off, but nah. As he shot a fireball at her, and she just barely dodges, and "You're gonna have to do better than that." As then he says, as then he did a hand sign as the fireball exploded as it hit Yugi Toni dead in her back, sending her flying. As Naruto grabs her by her throat and putting chakra, he puts a seal on his hand and jams it into Yugito's stomach. As Yugito fell asleep, as he put Yugito on his back, as he's like, I guess as I'm walking, I don't mind if I have a sneak peek. As he, not like that, but like just a little glance. You know what I'm saying? A little glance. Just pulled it down a little bit. Just a little glance. Nah, he didn't do that. I was just playing. But he brought he arrived as all the Akatsukis were eating dinner in the house as Pain was actually there. As Pain was actually eating, as Naruto walked in saying, "Hello, Pain." As Pain's like, "Naruto." As Naruto's like, "I believe this is just what the doctor ordered," as he's holding up Yugito Ni of the Two Tails, as Pain's eyes widen, saying, You did it." As Naruto tosses her on the floor, saying, "Yep, it was no sweat." As then he's like, Good work." As Naruto's like, Yeah. As then Pain picks her up, saying, "Well, I'll be heading back to the Akatsuki hideout. After tomorrow, when all of us seal the Two Tails, you and Conan will have a break, since she did help you get the One Tails, but you got this one all by yourself, as you are now co-captain of the Akatsuki." As Naruto smiles, as the Panther's like, "Congratulations." As Naruto's like, "Thank you." As it's now time for bed. As then Naruto brings in the TV to their room, and she's like, "Where'd you get a TV from?" As Naruto's like, "Oh, I bought one on the way out." As he sets it up, as he sets a chair in front of the TV, as he hooks up his game system, as just don't go along with the guys. He's playing the freaking PlayStation 5. Get serious. Big PlayStation over here. No Xbox. I mean, Xbox cool, but I'm PlayStation at least. As he's playing the game, as Konan says, "I'm cold." As Naruto's like, "Well, what do you want me to do about it?" And then she says, "You know what?" As Naruto takes a deep breath, saying, "Fine." As then he's like, "I guess I can play the game from the bed." As then he goes over to the bed as Conan lays up against him, hugging him. As Naruto hugs her back, but he has his arm around her as he's playing the game. And she falls asleep on Naruto while he's playing the game. As Naruto's like, "Well, I guess I gotta go to sleep now." As he puts the game in rest mode, puts the controller on the nightstand, as he grabs her and lays her on top of him, as then he falls asleep. Oh snap. Well guys, that's where we're gonna have part 2. If you guys want part 3, let's get this video up to 35 likes and I'll drop part 3 in a heartbeat, you feel me? Alright, I'm out of here.